For a show called Horimiya, I felt like there wasn't enough Horimiya. Ayo guys, I know it's been a minute since my last upload. I broke my foot, life happens, I've just been busy with work, but we're back and I've been on my grind watching even more romance series. And I happen to have came across Horimiya. This was an IRL recommendation, so shout out to that random Barnes & Noble NPC. Honestly, I just happened to hear someone say how they loved Horimiya. I checked out the cover and I said, well, I'm gonna read it, but instead I ended up watching it. And I know this isn't a new series, but it seems very beloved from what I could see online, but I don't know if it's just me. I have some bad news. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I did not come out of this loving it. The first couple episodes were really promising because I thought they were great, but then it just moved on way too fast for me. I am a proud and open rent-a-girlfriend enjoyer. Check out these videos right here. But I don't know, this progression felt so fast. I am used to a snail-paced progression, especially in romance series. And obviously I'm joking. I'm open to a faster pace, especially, just getting over that first confession because it takes sometimes 3 seasons for that. But here, I don't know, it just didn't hit for me. And this series should have been refreshing and relieving because it's a lot faster paced compared to Rent-a-Girlfriend, Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro, and even Love is War, some of my favorites. Because we do start out with a really interesting premise that Miyamura is a quiet kid in school and for some reason everyone thinks he's weird for it. I guess this is just the Japanese norm. And then we have Hori, who is a model student, very popular, and she just happens to discover Miyamura's big secret, and that his secret is that he's hot. But not also that he's just hot, but he's sort of like a bad boy because he has piercing, tattoos, and you know that in Japan those are very big no-nos. And for Hori, she just starts to discover new things about herself because she kinda likes that. However, Miyamura is not ready to present his true self to his school peers because of course they already think he's weird for being really quiet, and then he has like these social taboos, so of course he wants to keep that a secret. So this ends up being a secret between Hori and Miyamura, and they actually end up having a very secret relationship situationship because they just end up living like newlyweds over at Hori's place where they meet up all the time. And to even add to the mix of this newlywed life, they even have a child together. No, it's just Hori's little brother Sota, and it's all thanks to him that Horimiya got to meet. And God, I keep wanting to say Horimiya when I want to say Hori and Miyamura. This is gonna be a disaster for recording, I'm sorry. But anyways, here when they're having their secret life together, we have the best romance bits because of course Miyamura doesn't have anyone outside of Hori who treats him this nice, and Hori just enjoys just having Miyamura to herself, and they just have great moments in chemistry. They even just hold hands together without even just recognizing that it's very romantic. Everything just comes off so natural with them living together essentially, even though they're not living together as a couple. And these moments are the ones that I really liked. And on that note, don't forget to hit the like button, that'll help me out so much. But of course, secrets can't remain secrets because they start engaging in school, and then even more classmates start noticing Miyamura and how, hey, like he's really hot. And all his attention reaches Hori, and she starts to stress out that she might end up losing Miyamura, especially because they've been sharing all their moments together away from all these students and away from everybody really besides Sota, her little brother. And of course we have the little will they won't they moments, especially with the students asking are they an official couple yet. Hori even has her little moment where she's just like, hey, don't talk about my mans like that, alright? That's my man. I love that for her. But then we're immediately introduced to Hori's family, her dad, her mom, and then she gets questioned like, who is this boy? He looks troubled. Is this your boyfriend? But let's have a little bit of context because Miyamura and Hori had a conversation about how Miyamura doesn't think he's worthy of being Hori's boyfriend. And then Hori is rightfully offended because they've been having this secret relationship where they're just being newlyweds, and it's just like, why would Hori not want to be with you? There's obviously chemistry and a connection here. So now that we have that context and Hori's parents questioning her about Miyamura, she takes advantage of the moment and says, yeah, he is. Is there a problem with that? And just like that, in 5 episodes, these two have become an official couple, and I don't know what it is, it doesn't sit right with me. I'm not saying I need a formal confession because I definitely don't think that every romance anime needs a formal confession, because then every romance anime ends up being the same old show that just drags it all out for that formal confession, and I'm sorry for repeating that so much. And I really wanted to make this point because I don't want anyone in the comments to say you're just used to having romance anime lead up to a confession. And let me just say, I do like the fact that they just go out and say like, hey, we are dating, we know that we like each other, why are we dragging this out? But we just don't really get to savor it. I mean, the characters themselves don't really acknowledge it. They just move on. Okay, we're dating now. There's nothing there. We don't get to savor that moment like, hey, like, I can't believe you did that. There's none of that. They just move on to the next scene. And this is the main root of the problem for Horimiya, at least for me. This is the main criticism, is that we don't really get that acknowledgement. We have these very nice moments and we don't really get to sit on it. They just move on. There's no acknowledgement. There's no realization like, wow, that just really happened. And that isn't the only issue I have with this series, because after that, I just don't think that we get enough of Hori and Miya, because then the series starts to invest more into these side cast characters that honestly, I know I'm gonna get flamed for this, I don't think are that good. I might be really wrong about this, but I just think that the author might have thought that Horimiya was a little too vanilla and needed more spice to it, so they just added so much unnecessary drama with the side cast of characters. And as the season went on, I felt like a panhandler just hoping that we could get just a little bit more Horimiya. And then we just start delving into these side characters. Forgive me, I don't remember this character's name, but they just start going over the relationship with their little sister and how they have a little bit of drama going there. And then we go over to Yuki Yoshikawa, who just isn't in the mood of going out with this boy because she just believes that they won't go along with each other, even though he's super hot. So then she goes through with the elaborate scheme of just having a fake relationship with Turo Ishikawa. Kind of funny that their names rhyme with each other. And then they start to have the will they, won't they, are they going to become a real couple? And that eventually ends up leading to nothing. And then of course there's more characters that have even more drama, and it just kind of like, who the fuck cares about these characters? And correct me if I'm wrong, because I believe the anime is complete now. There is not enough material to make a season 3, so tell me, what was the point of including so much incomplete character development, or development for characters that just felt so dry in such a short series? And I know, and I can already feel it, that you guys are gonna cook me in the comment sections for those that love this series and love this cast of characters. I'm sorry, I couldn't vibe with it. And another small issue I have throughout both seasons is the episodes where Miyamura is reflecting on how his life has changed thanks to Hori. And to be honest, it was nice the first time, but I felt like they did it like, what, 3 more times after that, and it just felt unnecessary at that point, since the show just became so slice of life with little drama thanks to the side cast characters that felt unimpactful, and everyone just thought like, everyone felt so accepting of Miyamura by that point. And no, it's not that I missed the point of these episodes. I fully understand that Miyamura just has imposter syndrome, just having this sudden acceptance from everybody. It's funny, but it's a real thing. Like, people have a hard time accepting people accepting you. It's a real thing. And this obviously ties in with Miyamura's mistrust with everyone, since he was alienated at a young age. I just wanted to clear that up because I don't want to see any misunderstandings in the comments that I didn't get the point of these episodes. I do get it. I just wish it was one episode instead of multiple. Like, seriously, one of the big gags is that Hori is afraid that the guys is gonna steal Miyamura away from her and not the girls. The girls are not really concerned, and I know we can all relate to this because the homies, we be homosexuals. We really love our homies. We get really touchy. We really get a little zesty with them. I can't blame her on that one to be concerned. Like, he was my Pookie first, and you're just gonna come out of nowhere and try to steal him away from me? Nuh-uh, girl. I mean, in the regards of this show, he was alone, so it does really feel like the guys might steal him away. And I know that a lot of viewers can really connect to those episodes. Let me know down in the comments if you really love this theme exploration, but it just felt overdone when we have these little gags, in my honest opinion. And I really wish that they did more with the Miyamura dynamic, especially with Miyamura's outsider bad boy look. I was totally expecting this to be an adventure where Hori is experiencing this whole different world that Miyamura lives in. And that's totally my bad for expecting the delinquent looking character to live a more exciting delinquent lifestyle that a model student wouldn't be a part of. And another thing is that we don't really get to see Miyamura with piercings throughout the series, and then he eventually gets a haircut and just becomes very generic looking. And this becomes my biggest problem with the series, minus the great romantic moments, is that it just becomes very generic. And maybe I should have subdued my expectations, because I really thought that we would be exploring their lives outside of high school as graduates, but we have to stay in high school for the second season where they do every high school anime cliche. And I know it's not the biggest problem, every high school romance goes through this, but maybe I just misunderstood the storytelling here or the intentions of the author. And even when we do have great flashes of romance, just like Hori's announcement that they already are dating, big spoiler, they do have their first kiss and it just kind of comes and goes. They do kind of put more significance in the moment where they just have that out of moment panel where it's just them just kind of like experiencing it. but it just lasts too short. Then they just move on and never really talk about it or act like nothing happened at all. And then they have the audacity again to question if they still even like each other, but then again it's kind of valid since the romance can be very stale outside of those moments. They already live like they're newlyweds or maybe already seasoned veterans, but they have too many obstacles like the little brother and dad crashing the party. And then even then those aren't obstacles because they love Miyamura. It's like they've been dating for years, and then they still have the audacity, like I said, to question like, I wonder if Hori even cares about me. I wonder if Miyamura loves me. What if he leaves me? Like, why are we having these discussions? Like I said, it just felt like unnecessary drama when the romance was great. You should have just left it at that. But unfortunately, I left Horimiya kind of bored, especially when Horimiya was not involved. I do want to return to this series again and give it another chance. I might try out the dub. The first episode was pretty good, at least for the main characters. And I don't know why I want to give this show a rating. I'm feeling I'm gonna go like Anthony Fantano here, a very light 7. It was good, kind of okay at moments, and it really hurts me to kind of say a 6 when I know people love this, but you know, at moments it felt okay, but the romance really carried this. Hopefully I don't get cooked. Please let me know down in the comments how you felt about Horimiya. Let me know how wrong I am. And while you're at it, don't forget to like the video because that would help me out a lot. And while you're at it, why not subscribe? I like a lot of romance. Please recommend what kind of videos you would like to see. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I don't know why I kept saying Hori like Frank Reynolds from Always Sunny.
Whore!